Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Radha, Jai Radha Gopinath, Jai Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath,
ISKCON founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Navacharya Das Thakur ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, जलार्षिप श्री श्री गौनिताय की जय, श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ की जय, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बल्लभ सुभद्रामयी की जय, Samveda Bhakta Vrinda ki
Jai.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Okay, so sitting so far away, come here. There's nobody there. Big boys. Oh, if you need back support, you sit there. I think your back is out, okay? No, please. No.
Well, please.
Sit on the chair if you want also.
Can you come here because nobody's there? Just sit in the front. Nobody's sitting there. So.
You can come here. No, nobody's there. Shami can come that side. Yeah, it's okay.
In front of the mic.
Yeah. You can take a badge. So we chant the Mangal Charan prayer. Om
Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjalashakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shuyita Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Samagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Sadam Sahajana Lita Shri Vishakamitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Tarupascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Today, many devotees have gone for service in the temple. So that's why they are not able to make it today. Anyway, we'll continue on. If I had known this, probably could have not had the class. But anyway, wasn't aware of how it was going and it's not going. We'll recap the 15th chapter. First 6 verses are 15th chapter is called the Yoga of the Supreme Person, which is Purushottam Yoga. And the first 6 verses talk about the material world in relation to the spiritual world, using the analogy of a tree that is
upside down.
Reflection of a tree rather, and how it appears upside down in the pool of water on the other side of the bank, and that tree has got significance. Every part of the tree has been given some significance in comparison. So what do the roots represent? What do the branches represent?
The different planetary systems.
Yeah, correct.
The lower planetary systems, the lower base of the tree, and then going to the higher planetary systems.
Correct. And what's the root?
Brahma.
Yeah. So, you see, that's one of the things, we should be reading this. On one hand, I hear devotees saying, oh, we're only reading Bhagavad Gita, when will you read Bhagavatam? But we're not reading Bhagavad Gita also. Where's the question of reading Bhagavatam then? See, we don't read, we have to do the quiz, I don't do the quiz, we don't do the exam, and then we say we're not doing any progress. So, it's not realistic. You have to be reading the whole thing. If you're not reading, then we're not doing anything. So, where's the question of doing anything? So, let's recap those points again. As Srimali Prabhu said, branches are upper and lower planets, that's true. And what do the leaves represent?
The
Vedic hymns, yeah. And the branches we cover twigs.
Sense
Twigs
objects.
are the sense objects, yeah. So, we cover branches, we cover twigs, we cover the leaves.
tip of the senses.
Tip of the branches.
Tip of the branches.
Tip of the branches are the senses, yeah.
Fruits are dharma.
Yeah, the fruits are the fruits of following dharma. When you follow dharma, you get some fruits. What are the fruits?
Dharma, Artha, Kama.
Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. By following the Vedic process, Vedic culture, by following the Varnashram system more specifically, one is able to gradually progress Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. That is the sequence of events. So those different parts of trees, and the living entity is caught up in this material world, trying to experience life, trying to enjoy separate from Krishna, going from one branch to the other,
Other branch.
jumping from one branch to the other. So what is meant by saying that who is supposed to know the Vedas? Who is one who considered a person knows the Vedas?
One who understands the banyan tree and its perverted reflection.
Correct.
And parts of the banyan tree.
Correct. And he also understands that he can cut the attachment
Get out of
with the axe of renunciation. The axe of renunciation, able to cut down that tree. And also he comes to know that there is a real tree somewhere.
I forgot to bring the illustrations section. Maybe I do.
Yeah, that's what is good to have. Hare Krishna. So these are the elements of the banyan tree. So we understand what it is and we understand how to get free from that. Okay, then we read also that to understand the real banyan tree, what is required? What is the requirement?
Detachment, acts of detachment.
Yeah, the detachment is the quality that's required. That one should cut the attachment to the banyan tree with the axe of detachment or renunciation.
With determination.
And with determination. And what is the other requirement?
Then one must go beyond and surrender.
Sorry?
All of those five: freedom from false prestige, illusion.
Then there comes the surrendering process. Yeah, before you say that, we come to surrendering. You're right. You're on the right track, but just saying. So first there is a detachment with the axe of renunciation. Cut down the tree. And the second is to surrender to Supreme Lord. And that surrendering process is what you're talking about. It's described in the 5th verse. So what is the surrendering process? What are the qualities required for surrender?
Free from false prestige.
Yeah, free from false prestige. Nirmana moha, jita sanga dosha. So free from false prestige and
Illusion, false.
jita sanga. Jita sanga means?
Freedom from false association.
Yeah, from improper association. Asat sanga. To give up asat sanga, that is nirmana moha, jita sanga dosha. Adhyatma nitya.
Understand the eternal.
Yeah, understand eternal. Vinivritta kama.
Free from duality.
I think done from the material lust is the
Lust. Kama is lust, yeah. Vinivritta means done with, giving up till lust. Dvandve vimukta, free from dualities.
dualities.
Sukha dukkha sangir. Sukha dukkha means? Happiness and distress. That's the dualities. Then what happens? That is the surrendering process. Then what happens? Then?
Then he knows how to surrender to the Supreme Personality of God. Right?
Yeah. Gachanti amudha. We have always heard of Mudha. Krishna says amudha. They are not a fool. One is not a fool. One is, in other words, wise person. Mudha becomes amudha. Gachanti amudha. Padamavyanta. The supreme destination. No one can get free from this banyan tree. It's very difficult to get out of this entanglement. Then, where do you go? You get free from the banyan tree, then what happens? Different philosophies say different things. Buddhism says you don't exist anymore after that. You cease to exist. And no more karma, you don't exist. The impersonalists say you go to the Brahmajyoti. But for the devotees, Krishna says in the 6th verse, Na tad bhashete surya na shashanko na pavaka. I come to my abode where there is, which is not illuminated by sun or moon or fire, electricity. These are not there. These are not the illuminating object. And how is it completely dark then? It's illuminated by?
The Lord's
Brahmajyoti, correct. And it's illuminated by the Brahmajyoti. When it's illuminated by Brahmajyoti, there is no need for all this other illuminaries. Because the Brahmajyoti is sufficient to not only illuminate the spiritual world but also material world. So, but why the Brahmajyoti is not directly illuminating the material world? What's the problem? What's the obstacle? Yeah, the Mahatattva covering is there, it's like a cloud. A cloud blocks the sunlight. So on a cloudy day, there is no sun. It appears to be the sun is not there, right? You play cricket, Mukul? What sport do you play?
He likes soccer.
Soccer. You play soccer in the rain? No. So it's cloudy, you can't see the sun, isn't it? Is the cloud covering the sun or is the cloud covering us? What do you think?
God is covering the earth from the sun.
Yeah, very good boy. Yeah, the sun is not covered. Cloud cannot cover sun because sun is many millions of miles away, right? Or kilometers away, millions of kilometers. Clouds are very close. Today morning I was coming on the plane, I saw the clouds, the thick clouds. They look like ice cream everywhere. They're flying through ice cream. Sometimes the clouds are very thin, they're floating by. But today the clouds are very thick white. And the sun was shining on top of them. It was very Balram's color. Tomorrow, Balram Jayanti. So yeah, the clouds cover our vision. So that's why they can't see the sun. Similarly, the Mahatattva covers the material world so that the sun, so that Brahmajyoti doesn't enter the material world. So then how does the Brahmajyoti illuminate the material world? Then it appears that it's not doing it.
Sun.
Through sun, very good. Yes, the energy of the sun comes from Brahmajyoti. The scientists don't know how the sun gets the energy. They have no idea. They're saying helium, this, that, trying to put so many things, the Big Bang, chunk. But where the source of energy came in the first place, in fact they're defeating their own philosophy that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Then how was it created? How did it come into place in the first place? It must have a source. Right? That is not clear to the scientists because they don't know the idea of Brahmajyoti. And even if one goes to the extent of understanding Brahmajyoti, what is source of Brahmajyoti, that is only devotees know that. Brahmano hi pratishtaham, previous chapter Krishna said. That is not known to the speculators, mental speculators, to the karmis, to the jnanis, to the yogis. They don't know all that. But Krishna says for the devotees, Brahmano hi pratishtaham. That I am the source of the imperishable Brahman, Amritasya, Abhyasya, inexhaustible, immortal. So that is described in 14th chapter. Also in the Ishopanishad also is mentioned in many verses. And that's not all, that's within our scope of Bhakti Shastri. There is even more verses that will describe that. So Bhagavatam goes even more detail. So this is the sunlight that actually illuminates the material world. So here Krishna is talking about the spiritual world. He says there is no need for sunlight because there is directly Brahmajyoti. And then what is the second property? It says Yad gatva na nivartante tad dham param mama. But if you come to my abode, he says
You don't have to go back.
you have to go back. It's a one-way ticket. Of course then at this point, when the moment you say that, people ask then, how do you come here in the first place? We were there before, then how did you come here? So what is the answer to that?
Due to our own desire.
Due to
Our own desire.
our own desire, yes, and
To enjoy separately from Krishna.
yeah, because Krishna has given us a minute degree of independence, right? And we miss,
Jiva Bhuta Sanatana.
that we are part and parcel, but he has given us a minute degree of independence. In spite of being his part and parcel, we decided not to cooperate with him. We got sick of him and said, no, I don't want to serve you. I want to be served. Imagine familiarity breeds contempt to Krishna also. It's not surprising it happens to us. Isn't it? Sometimes you try to get something done, things don't happen, and you're upset. Oh, no one is listening. Oh, I'm not getting help. Think of Krishna, how he must be tolerating. He's been calling us for millions of years, millions of lifetimes. We're telling him, wait, not ready. I've still got some things to sort out here. Isn't it? How patient and how tolerant Krishna must be. Yeah, so it's a big eye opener, at least for me. So that independence Krishna has given us, he will not take that away. Prabhupada says he'll never take it away. I was hearing a lecture. Very emphatically Prabhupada said he'll never take it away. That's one thing, he'll never take it away. Because the whole love is based on independence. If there's no independence, why is the question of love? So that's a fundamental feature. Krishna will never take that away. Even though devotees sometimes, many times actually, wish that he didn't give us the independence. Because every time I use the independence, I misused it. I don't want to. I think I mentioned that, Bhakti Maharaj, he offers this prayer, Krishna, please take away my independence. I don't want that. So, yad gatva nanivartante tad dham param mama. So, but Krishna is saying that once you have been to the material world, once we got burnt, once we got the bad experience, that remains very strong in our psyche. We don't want to go back second time again. Though theoretically one can fall down, but generally Prabhupada said one doesn't. Because we had a bad experience. We tried it. And we tried in all species of life. Because we thought, human life maybe I didn't, but what if I go Indra, then I'll really enjoy. Indra, I'll think, maybe Brahma is better. So we try different options. And this thing always going upwards. How about downwards? That might be better. Go to lower planets and try that. And I think, no, but you see, lower species may be better. Human species is limited. So many responsibility, dharma, this, that, too much. Regulative principles. You become an animal, then I can fulfill my desire, heart's content. If I become a fish, I can swim as much as I want. If I become a tree, then I can stand naked and I can do so many things. So we have tried those options as well. So now, after Brahmanda Brahmite, fortunate soul, he gets the Bhakti Lata beach. So this is the surrendering process. So Krishna is beckoning us, is calling us. Please come, this is my abode. This is your home. Come home. Don't run away from home. You will be miserable. You can't make it. Come back. I'm waiting for you. And to reassure us that it is our home, in the next verse, what does Krishna say? 7th verse. The famous question, who am I? So you see in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna answered this question at various levels. Who am I? What are the different levels Krishna answered? Let's read the verse, then we'll come back to that. We'll read the verse in purport and come back to that question. Think about it. What levels Krishna answered this question? Okay? We don't have any 15 chapter experts today. Nidhi? Read the 7th.
Mamevam shro jivaloke Jiva bhuta sanatana Manasashtanindriyani Prakriti sthani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the 6 senses, which include the mind.
Very good. So, Banking Raipur, purport.
In this verse, the identity of the living beings is clearly given. The living entity is the fragmentary part and parcel of the Supreme Lord eternally. It is not that he assumes individuality in his conditional life and in his liberated state becomes one with the Supreme Lord. He is eternally fragmented. It is clearly said, Sanatana. According to the Vedic version, the Supreme Lord manifests and expands himself in innumerable expansions of which the primary expansions are called Vishnu Tattva and the secondary expansions are called the living entities. In other words, the Vishnu Tattva is the personal expansion and the living entities are the separated expansions. By his personal expansion, he is manifested in various forms like Lord Rama, Narasimhadev, Vishnumurti and all the predominating deities in the Vaikuntha planets. The separated expansions, the living entities are eternally servitors. The personal expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the individual identities of the Godhead are always present. Similarly, the separated expansions of the living entity have their identities. As fragmentary parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, the living entities also have fragmentary portions of his qualities, of which independence is one. Every living entity has an individual soul, has his personal individuality and a minute form of independence. By misuse of that independence, one becomes a conditioned soul, and by proper use of independence, he is always liberated. In either case, he is quantitatively eternal, as the Supreme Lord is. In his liberated state, he is freed from his material condition, and he is under the engagement of transcendental service unto the Lord. In his conditional life, he is dominated by the material modes of nature, and he forgets the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As a result, he has to struggle very hard to maintain his existence in the material world.
Can read next.
The living entities, not only human beings and the cats and dogs, but even the greater controllers of the material world, Brahma, Lord Shiva and even Vishnu, are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. They are eternal, not temporary manifestations. The word karshati, struggling or grappling hard, is very significant. The conditioned soul is bound up, as though shackled by iron chains. He is bound by the false ego, and the mind is the chief agent which is driving him in this material existence. When the mind is in the mode of goodness, his activities are good. When the mind is in the mode of passion, his activities are troublesome. And when the mind is in the mode of ignorance, he travels in the lower species of life. It is clear, however, in this verse that the conditioned soul is covered by the material body, with the mind and the senses, and when he is liberated, this material covering perishes, but his spiritual body manifests itself in its individual capacity. The following information is there in the Madhyandi Nayana Shruti. Sava eva Brahma nishtha idam shariram mrityam asti sriya Brahma abhisampadaya Brahma pashyati Brahmana shroti Brahmana na eva vedam shravam sarvam anubhavati. It is stated here that when a living entity gives up this material embodiment and enters into the spiritual world, he revives his spiritual body, and in his spiritual body he can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. He can hear and speak to him face to face. He can understand the Supreme Personality as he is. From Smriti also it is understood, Vashanti yatra purushaha sarve vaikuntha murtaya. In the spiritual planets, everyone lives in bodies featured like the Supreme Personality of Godheads. As far as bodily construction is concerned, there is no difference between the part and parcel living entities and the expansions of Vishnu Murti. In other words, at liberation, the living entity gets a spiritual body by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, next, can you read or?
Yes, we could try.
The words
Mam eva shansara,
fragmental parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord are also very significant. The fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord is not like some material broken apart. We have already understood in the second chapter that the spirit cannot be like matter or cut into pieces. The fragment is not materially conceived. It is not like matter which can be cut into pieces and joined together again. That conception is not applicable here because the Sanskrit word
Sanatana,
eternal is used. The fragmental portion is eternal. It is also stated in the beginning of the second chapter that in each and every individual body, the fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord is present.
Dehino asmin yatha dehe.
The fragmental portion, when liberated from the body, entanglement receives its revives its original spiritual body in the spiritual sky, in a spiritual planet, and enjoys association with the Supreme Lord. It is, however, understood here that the living entity, being the fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is qualitatively one with the Lord, just as the parts and parcels of gold are also gold.
Very good, excellent, well done. When you sit properly, it'll be nicer. Can you fold your legs? Can you? Yeah, that's great. Good boy. Give him some space. He's a big boy now. Huh? Nice, Mukund. Well done. Good reading. Which year are you studying now? 6. You're 6 now. Big boy now. Got to be high school next year. Yeah, that's nice. So, long purport. A lot of points. Let's first deal with the question that I raised before. How does Krishna reveal our identity through the Bhagavad Gita? This is called Sambandha Gyan. Bhagavad Gita can be understood thematically. There is some devotees that study Bhagavad Gita not chapter wise but thematically. And thematically they study Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. So all the Sambandha verses they pick up from the different chapters of the Gita and put under one category. All the Abhideya, the process. Sambandha relationship, Abhideya is the process of realizing the relationship, of re-establishing that lost relationship is called Abhideya. So the Abhideya verses are one category, and Prayojana, the result of following this process, is the love of God, ultimately love of God. So that is Prayojana. And that is also in the different verses of the Gita. So every verse of Gita can be classified in one or the other, three categories. And that's how they have divided up the whole Gita. Which is interesting. But anyway, Krishna has given the Gita in a certain flow. It seems more easy for me to follow the flow rather than jump chapters and go across this thing. But it is good to do that way of study also. That way you get to know the verses that relate to the Sambandha. And that's important as well, no? So it's kind of good to mix the two rather than go one or the other. So what are the verses of the Sambandha that we have read so far in the Gita? I can't hear. Thinking. I can't hear your mind also.
Is it related to the parts and parcels? That's something.
Who we are? Who am I? Right to the question, who am I? What are the verses? Yes, Nivi. Yes, very good. Tell us the verse.
Like the translation.
If you know the verse, you can have all the translation.
तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि.
Very good. Translation?
I know the gist of it, not the...
Okay, try.
So just like the body puts on new garments, just as it's similar to the soul where he goes into new bodies every time.
Very good. So this verse is describing how the soul gives up the bodies, just like you give up one garment and take up another garment. That's one verse. Yes.
Same one, Prabhu.
Just as embodied soul
passes from one body to the other.
Within the body, from childhood to youth to old age, likewise it moves from one body to the other.
Very good.
And
This is Dattanamohiti. Yeah. So that gives you some understanding. What does that teach us? These verses, what do they teach us? That
we should not identify ourselves with the body.
That we are not the body. So that preliminary understanding who we are starts with you're not the body. It starts with a negative. If I ask you what's the color of this painting or one color here, you say, oh, it's not black. It's not white. It's not red. It's not green. You are describing it, but it's a negative description. Why does Krishna begin with a negative description? Why didn't directly say, this is what you are?
Because we anyway are very, very negative. So we don't want to bring it to positive.
Alright. I didn't think of that.
We are identifying with the body.
Because there's so much caught up with the body, that's what we can understand. Like Bhujan Prabhu says, if a prisoner in a jail who's been in jail whole life, he asks, what's it like outside? So you got to tell him there will be no bars in front of you. That's not exactly a description of how it is outside. But for a prisoner it makes sense. To the LSD drug addicted hippies that came to see Prabhupada, they asked him, what's it like in the spiritual world? He says, the ocean of marijuana. Because that's what they could understand. The Sambandha Gyan is given in different ways, different strokes for different folks. So in the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna gives the knowledge in a gradual way so we can understand. So first of all, he says you're not the body. It's a very negative statement, but it's a very important statement because we are so much caught up in the body. Now as devotees, we got another kind of problem, in that when you hear you're not the body, you think, oh no, there he goes again. I've heard it so many times. Do you have to tell me again? I've heard that for 10 years now. But Prabhupada is also sort of accused of that. How come he's saying you're not the body? So one press interview started. Prabhupada said, "What is your message, Swami?" "I am not a donkey." What do you mean not a donkey? Said, if I say I'm not the body, you'll say, "Oh, we have heard that before. Don't you have any other message?" That means he doesn't know anything. He's saying the same thing. Means someone repeats something, means they don't know. That's all they know, they're repeating. Very devious way of thinking. So Prabhupada said, so just to show you that I'm something different, I'm saying this time. I'm not a donkey. So yeah. Starts with I'm not the body, but then goes on to what happens after that? You establish not the body. Is that all?
I'm a spirit soul, but I'm still individual. I don't know the individuality of the spirit soul.
Where is individuality explained?
Into 12 Natevaham Jata.
Nasham Natum Namiganadipra Nachi Vishama Savevata Param. Never was there a time?
Height does not exist.
Height not exist, no kings, no all these people. All in the future suddenly of us cease to exist. So individuality of the soul is established. Very good.
Nitya Nityanam.
Nityanam is a big step ahead. We'll come to that in a minute. We're not there yet. So we have established not the body. We established a spirit soul. That is, what's the property of spirit soul established now?
It's not temporary.
It's eternal. Soul is eternal. Simply saying you're not the body doesn't tell you who you are, right? So the next step is to understand you're a soul. But even saying you're a soul, maybe think, oh, another kind of body, maybe. Soul is also another kind of body. No, it's eternal. So then one may think, wow, hang on, if I'm eternal, then maybe I am it. Tattvam Asi. The Vedic aphorism is there. Tattvam Asi. I am that. Tat means that. I am that. The English word that also comes from tat. You add H to the tat, it becomes that. Tattvam Asi. So I am that. I am it. What is the love to play with that? You are me and I am you and all that. So just in case one gets in that illusion that I am supreme, Krishna has to further clarify. Yes, that's correct. He is the enjoyer. And also we are, like this, now the verse comes in Nitya Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam. Because the similarities are, we are all eternal, Nitya Nityanam. And what does Chetana mean?
Conscious.
We have the consciousness.
We are conscious and he is also conscious. But what is the difference?
Is eternal.
Eko Vedadikaman. He maintains all of us. He is the maintainer. We are not maintaining anyone. Krishna is the maintainer. That is the difference.
Sadhya and Sadhak.
So there is a difference. And furthermore, explain that we are Anu Atma and he is Vibhu Atma. That's also coming up. And we are tiny and he is unlimited. So qualitatively same and quantitatively different. Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. Simultaneously one and different. What else is there? What else is the relationship? Sambandha, what else is revealed?
What verse are you on?
Very good. So this verse hints at that. 15.7 reading here hints at the rasa, doesn't actually talk about it. Explicitly Krishna doesn't reveal that. But the hint of rasa is there. In which word in that shloka does Krishna actually hint at the fact that we have a relationship with him?
Sanatan.
Sanatana is eternal.
So we can only be eternally connected to something.
Yeah. So the word that he uses, mamai, means me. So it's directly Krishna is saying that we belong to him. It's a direct relationship with Krishna. The word mamai is very important. And the word amsha indicates that we are tiny. But we belong to Krishna still. Even though we are tiny, we belong to Krishna. So when you say somebody is mine, that indicates in what capacity? Are you my brother, or are you my friend, or are you my what? My what? Even my enemy also is a relationship. My friend is a relationship. So there is a relationship. So Mama is, Krishna is saying very clearly me. That all living entities are related to me. So that brings us into the next stage of understanding. Not only we are eternal, but we are not only maintained by Krishna, but we actually belong to him. We are his amshas. We are his part and parcel. So we have a sambandha, relationship with him. And that sambandha is realized by the mercy of the spiritual master. By the mercy of the spiritual master. And the spiritual master gets his ability to do that from Lord Balaram, whose appearance is tomorrow. Balaram is Guru is a representation of Lord Balaram. Balaram is Adi Guru, Nitai, Nityananda Ram. He is the original Guru. On his behalf, the spiritual master is guiding us in our spiritual life. Anyway, this is for tomorrow's lecture, but anyway, we'll discuss it tomorrow. Okay. How about Balaram? Guru Tattva. So that understand the relationship is revealed by spiritual master. Now we have to be very careful here, because even in Prabhupada's time, devotees would go to Prabhupada and they would say, "Oh, so and so Swamiji said, I will tell you what your relationship is in the spiritual world. Your sambandha, I'll give you directly. Don't have to wait and do sadhana for so many years. So come to me." And they went and told Prabhupada, if you are not giving us sambandha, this Swamiji is going to give us sambandha straight away. And Prabhupada, he didn't appreciate that. He said, no, you have to do sadhana first, do Vaidhi Bhakti first. Then you come to Raganuga Bhakti. Then you come to the advanced stage. Now if you try to prematurely assume that I know what my relationship is, and try to imitate that, become a peacock or become a gopi or become some part of Vrindavan Leela, that's not
Sahajya.
That's Sahajyasm, yeah, exactly. That is prematurely, artificially trying to pretend. When you can't control our senses, we're talking about Sambandha Gyan. Where is it possible? So sense control is a preliminary qualification for someone to be a devotee. If you can't control our senses, we're talking about these esoteric relationships and sambandhas and all. It is Sahajyasm. And Prabhupada warned against that. People who promise these things, they themselves are not realized. What can they tell about us? So we can't jump over the Guru, we can't take a shortcut in the process. So the 15th chapter is talking about a surrendering process here. So when you engage in the surrendering process, then by mercy of Guru, he reveals the Dham. Na tad bhashit surya na shashankona pavaka. The Dham is revealed. Krishna's relationship is revealed. Mama yamsha jiva loke jiva bhut sanatana. That is revealed because of diligently following the process under the direction of spiritual master. Because of sincerely following that process, one is able to be rewarded by the Lord. See in Damodar Leela we did 2 fingers shot, right? What are the 2 fingers shot in tying Krishna?
Love and mercy.
One is the Lord's mercy and one is our endeavor. Now our endeavor is through Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram, through spiritual master, he directs he guides us in developing the qualities that are required to bring Krishna into our heart. So that's Lord Balaram's role. So that's why I pray to Lord Balaram to give us strength. And the other side is Krishna's mercy. So Krishna and Balaram both are helping us actually. I said it already anyway, so I'll say it tomorrow. Yeah, some more things are there. I was meditating on that. So it's nice meditation. So Krishna and Balaram and Gaur Nitai, they are helping us achieve this position of realizing a Sambandha Gyan, our eternal relationship with Krishna. Because on our own we can't do anything. See? That's the bottom line. And because we can't do anything on our own, it doesn't mean we don't do anything. So our effort comes to follow the order of Guru, who is representing Lord Balaram. And together they will help us develop some qualities. And other qualities Krishna will bestow upon us because we made this attempt. That's how Krishna and Balaram together, they help us achieve our Sambandha Gyan, our eternal original position, how to get back to original position, they help us. So in this purport, you see, what is Prabhupada, what is the main point Prabhupada is hammering, I should say, or repeating or emphasizing.
Our original position is that we are. Oh, you
can use the mic. No, I'm just suggesting.
Yeah, it is.
That we are parts and parcels of Krishna eternally. But our current position is that we are struggling hard with our senses in this material world. So that's what you asked.
Okay.
Sorry, did I not understand your question?
No, the question is right. There are many aspects Prabhupada is emphasizing. I'm asking the question is, which point is Prabhupada emphasizing in this verse? One is that we have is part and parcel. The other point is emphasizing is that we are individual. Very important.
So we have the fragmental qualities, but not all the qualities. So that's where the duality.
That's where the apparent duality comes. It's not duality. It is unity in diversity.
Yeah. So.
But we have an individuality. We are separate individual. We are all individuals. We're not part. When you say Mama Yamsha, part means you break one part off. The original is depleted. No. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudichyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. So Purna is always Purna. The original source, Krishna, is always complete. He is not depleted. Just because we are in part and parcel, that is the next level of understanding. To understand we are part and parcel of Krishna, that's why the word parcel is used by Prabhupada all the time. Part and parcel. Why the need to? Why could he just say we are just part of Krishna? Why do you use the word parcel? What does the parcel have meaning?
Comes back to you. Comes back to you.
Comes back to you, but it means we have separate identity. We also have an individuality. Just because we are all sitting in this room doesn't mean we lost our individuality. We are still, just because we are all Australian citizens doesn't mean we're not individuals. We're all Australians from mundane point of view.
There is Dvaita and Advaita both. So
yeah, simultaneously one and different.
One different.
So our individuality is not lost. So that is the first thing that Prabhupada is emphasizing. And the second thing is emphasizing very strongly also is that in the spiritual world we still have identity. And in the spiritual world there is still devotional service. So that means our relationship now, not only part and parcel, but we're eternally servant of Krishna. Jivara Swarup boy?
Krishna Nityadasa.
Krishna is the eternal servant, Krishna Nityadasa. The eternal servant of Krishna. So the relationship is of master and servant. So not enough to say we are part and parcel. I'm just going forward now beyond this verse, which Prabhupada, the purport reveals to us, that we are his part and parcel, we have an individual existence, and our relationship is of master and servant. And now the rasa point comes in here. Now what is the biggest obstacle to realizing the relationship?
We start thinking that we are the masters.
Misusing the independence. When you misuse the independence, that's the root cause of the problem. When you misuse the independence, what happens? Forget Krishna and we fall down the material world. When you fall down the material world, what happens? Struggle. Manasasthani indriyani. I am struggling with the senses and the mind. The sense of promising us happiness, enjoyment. But we are getting beaten all the time. We are getting kicked by Maya. So Maya has two potencies. What are the two potencies? So what does it mean? Avarnatmika means? Covering potency and the pulling down. She pulls us down. She covers us and then she pulls us down. Because we have misused our independence. The moment you misuse the independence, then we are caught in the material world. So 7th chapter we read that already. What is that verse?
1:4. Devi Aisha Gomai.
Yeah, Devi Aisha Gomai.
Maya Duratya.
Maya Duratya. Mame Vai Prapadyante.
Maya Metam Tarantite.
Maya Metam Tarantite. That this material energy of mind is very difficult to cross over. It's very difficult to cross over. But Mame Vai Prapadyante, one who surrenders to me. So we are talking about surrendering here. So the moment one surrenders, then Maya Devi leaves him alone. Okay, now you're out of my jurisdiction. So the surrendering process indicates that Krishna is the master and we are the servants. He is the predominator and we are the predominated. Come bro, while you get a break, you stay here. So we are eternally servants. But when you hear the word servant, naturally we feel that, oh, here you go, I'm going to get exploited. Now this master-servant relationship is not one of exploiter and exploited, but rather
master and servant.
It is an exchange of love. It's the exchange of love. Service doesn't have to always to do with exploitation. That's our experience in the material world. We feel exploited. But Krishna never exploits. He always reciprocates. It's a loving exchange. Because the loving exchange, therefore, there is no exploitation. Rather, there is the competition to do more and more service, to serve the Lord more and more, and devotee. The Lord also wants to serve his devotee more and more. So it's not one of taking. Exploitation means I want to take something from you. But love means you want to give something. So this is the relationship of master and servant, quite unlike anything we experience in the material world, which is based on exploitation. But in devotional service, it is based on giving pleasure to the Lord. Sometimes in ISKCON also we see when devotees they are unhappy, disgruntled, they sometimes complain, oh, I have been used and abused in ISKCON and now I have been dumped and I am not able to serve, no one cares for me. We hear this kind of feelings being expressed by some unhappy devotees. So in relation to this verse, how do you respond to that? Do you hear sometimes like that? If you've been long enough in the movement, I'm sure you hear. Especially if you are in management, you are told, you have abused us, you have used us. So in relation to this verse, this is a very deep verse actually, that's why don't mind I'm taking time for this.
Just I think, Prabhu, last time we discussed that it's between us and the Lord, and if we consider that we are pleasing the Lord, then I think it will be easier for us to accept.
Okay. So if you think of the ultimate goal, the goal is to please the Lord, then we don't feel the pains is too much, right? Just like parents, they bring up children. It is so difficult, so challenging. But because we're doing it for their welfare, because we love our children, and service to Guru, service to our parents who brought us up, so we accept the austerities, difficulties. So one is that. It's pleasing to the Lord, doesn't matter if I feel some pain. The gopis are praying to Krishna. If by giving us pain you become happy, then we don't mind the pain over and over again. Please give us more pain. If it gives you happiness, then we are happy to take that. We don't mind our pain at all. So the devotees are like that. They are always thinking of the Lord. Yes, I'm looking.
If we want to understand,
if we want to really understand what real surrender is, reading Yamuna Mataji's book is a must.
Beautiful.
A lifetime of unalloyed devotion. How many challenges when they were going from, can I take 5 minutes?
Oh, please do.
When they were going from, Prabhupada was invited to come to Amritsar and speak at some sammelan there. And so, Prabhupada went with a few brahmacharis and Yamuna Mataji and Kausalya Mataji. So, and on the way when they were traveling by train from Amritsar back to Mumbai, I think, as Delhi was approaching, Srila Prabhupada told some of the devotees, I want you to get off here and start a center in Delhi. In half an hour's notice, Yamuna Mataji and her husband, that time Guru Das, and a few devotees, they just got off at Delhi station. And Prabhupada gave them the address of one person with whom they can go and stay. And there were rats walking around in the night, and they would climb up on all these brahmacharis. And like that, everywhere, she was so surrendered. And later on, when Srila Prabhupada left his body, she still struggled, and she just went along. That is real surrender, and she never felt that she was exploited. Because Prabhupada loved them so much. Those 2 books of her life history, which she didn't want to write when she was alive, Radhanath Maharaj and Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj said that no, this has to be written. She's a saint, a present day saint. Like so many others their biographies are written, so even hers should be written. So this Dinatarani Mataji, who lived with her and served her till her end, she wrote these 2 books. And in that, so many letters by Srila Prabhupada, which were written by Srila Prabhupada to Yamuna Mataji, with so much love, affection, care, concern. She got so much of that love and affection that she felt, no, this is why the word exploitation never came to her mind, because she was loved so much. Prabhupada so much, so genuine and so this thing. So then it's not, you don't feel that it's exploitation. And somewhere I read, devotional service is not a chore, it's a privilege. If we are given devotional service, but then everything should be done very nicely. Our previous conditioning should not hamper, whether it is senior devotee, younger devotee who has come just today, or whoever, all of us, like we just read Mamai Vamsho, we are all Krishna's part and parcel. So when we are treated with justice, with love, affection, genuineness, then there is no feeling of exploitation. And when, of course, we've heard that many times on that train, when Srila Prabhupada said, I want some hot rice, she was willing to just jump off the train. She said, yeah, I want some cooking facility to make some hot rice for my Gurudev. And those cooks, they said, ja, it's all finished, we have closed down the kitchen. She said, if you don't allow me now, I'm going to jump off the train. And Dinatarani Mataji has written, Kausalya Mataji, who was with her, she said she really meant it. And those guys got scared. Oh my God, this Western lady will be the cause of her death if we don't allow her. They said, okay, come. And then she got some coal. She had seen some people on the roadside cleaning their bartan with coal. So she cleaned all those dirty pots. She cleaned 2 of them with coal, and then she got some rice and she made it. And she made a nice thali with whatever is there, serving Srila Prabhupada. Made a thali with hot rice, and she kept some pieces of nimbu and some salt and pepper. And then when she gave it to Prabhupada, his eyes lit up and he said, "Oh, you got it?" Meaning that he had just said just like that, "I want some hot rice." Meaning that how can they bring it? But then that is love. And she felt so happy seeing Prabhupada happily enjoying that prasadam. So when there is genuineness, it's so wonderful that it's not exploitation. You will give your life for a person like Prabhupada. Isn't it? Yeah.
Sure.
The way we are exploited in material world, it does not even compare to the way you may be exploited in devotional service. So it's better to be in devotional service and be miserable rather than trying to be happy in material world.
That's right. Very good point. Govinda Das says in that song, Bipala Sevinu, Kripana Durjana. I have uselessly served. Bipala means without any fall. Sevinu, Kripana Durjana. I have usually served wicked and miserly masters. You can see somebody is shaking their head. Yeah. Some more than others. In our careers we face such. I used to first think it was only in the song until I got some dose of that. I got some exposure to some such demons do exist. Krishna had blissfully kept me away. Yeah, Gita microphone. Sorry, there's a cord.
Could you elaborate on that point? You said that it's better to be miserable in devotional service than happy in the material world. Could you elaborate on that?
I think Prabhu can elaborate.
No. Don't pass the buck. Yeah,
that means whatever challenges we face in spiritual life, it's worth going through that rather than trying to be happy in the material world. Because it ultimately does not give you anything. That is what I meant.
Actually, one devotee asked this question to Prabhupada. What is the question? Oh, he's trying to become God. Yes. He's trying to become God. This is one of our devotees. Who was it? Satsuru Maharaj or someone? Anyway, one of these top devotees. They first started off with thinking they become God. Then Prabhupada asked them, in one meeting, Prabhupada smashed his idea. He said, Prabhupada just asked him, "So, what have you achieved?" You tried to become God, so what have you achieved? He said, "That's it." One question Prabhupada asked and he realized, I've been trying so hard to become God and I haven't got anything, I'm miserable. Mamayamsha Jiv Loke Jiv Bhutsana. I said that one sentence of Prabhupada smashed his whole lifelong dream of becoming God. So what have you achieved? Seems such a innocuous statement. Seems such a... Tell Prabhupada. First Jitendra, then Shyamaki. Please handle the mic carefully. God.
Just in relation to what Sharanmukhi Mataji said, that devotional service doesn't feel like exploitation, or in the case of Yamuna Mataji specifically, it didn't feel like exploitation because she was given so much affection and love and care and so forth. Is performing devotional service with the expectation that Krishna will give us affection, love and care and so forth also a condition, something that makes it conditional devotional
service? If I get love and affection, then I will serve.
Do it.
Yeah. In the beginning stage, that is very much the case. In the beginning stage is very much the case. Because we need that encouragement. See, one who is given lots of love can give lots of love also. See, children are brought up with a lot of love and affection. When they grow up, they give the whole world so much love. But if they are abused and mistreated, when they grow up, what will they give? They have nothing to offer. So that is in the beginning stage. But in later stage of devotional service, one feels the love in the service that is given to us. My spiritual master loved me so much, he's given me this service. He's entrusted me with this service. You feel love that way. But that is a more advanced stage, a more mature stage. But in the beginning, yes, we do need love. Even at the later stage also, Krishna doesn't think, oh, now you are a senior devotee, I don't need to show you any love. Krishna does reciprocate. But he does make it harder at the higher stages. Like to Narada Muni said, we're going to read today, in the next few verses. He appeared and he disappeared also. By appearing, you are giving him brief darshan, he increased his ecstasy, his love for him.
He makes it harder to give his love.
Apparently achieved that. It raised the bar, in other words. No? First darshan he gave very easily. Then he disappeared. And then Narada Muni was completely disturbed. He said, how can you go away? I can't live anymore. He became completely destroyed and is completely destroyed even. Practically, he was completely devastated. But then the Lord spoke to him. He didn't come to him. It became visible to him. But he spoke to him and he said, my dear Narada Muni, I regret you'll not see me anymore in this lifetime. This whole life you won't see me. But this is only to increase your love for me. So that's not exploitation. Though it may look like exploitation. Oh, he's given you one darshan, now he's not going to give any more. To get a second darshan, I've got to do so much more. I have to jump so many hoops to get there. So in the beginning, yes, there is more need for nurturing and giving that love.
Is that a reasonable expectation on the part of the devotee?
No, but I'm still saying in the beginning it is like that. No, in the beginning it's like that.
That's what I'm saying. Is it reasonable for them to...
Yeah, for a young devotee, for a young child to expect to be loved is reasonable because we are young in our devotional service. Though one should come to the point where one feels the love in the form of the service that's given to us. Rather than see that service in exploitation, we see that as, oh, he loved me so much, my Guru Maharaj, he's given me that service. It's so precious, the devotional service is so precious, I have got that. Even though I'm unqualified, I have given this service. So devotee actually becomes greedy, hankering for that service.
Because the service itself is the highest perfection.
Exactly. In that day you feel the love of the spiritual masters. When you're serving Guru, when you're serving the mission of Guru, you feel, that's the Prabhupada said, I never felt separate from my spiritual master. He's always by my side. That's not a metaphorical statement or just a philosophical statement. He actually felt his presence in the instruction. He lived forever in his instructions. So that's not a literary statement, but actually it's true. Because in the instruction, the spiritual master is very intimately present with the disciple.
Because he very mercifully gave them that service to do.
The service to do. Entrusted him with such an important service. Even if it's washing one pot. It's a very important service. The Guru entrusted us with that. And that alone should make us so happy that we already got the love there. Rather than look somewhere else for something more. Of course, the beginning stage we can't see that. We say, he's got so much work to do, he's palmed off something to me. Isn't it? What a contrast, what a different psychology, different consciousness to think like that. He didn't find anyone he caught hold of me. That is unfortunate consciousness. But when you get deeper understanding, you get so much, and because as you do the service in that consciousness, the reciprocation comes even more. You get more reciprocation, you get more ecstatic, become more blissful, become more close to the spiritual master. And then you don't doubt it anymore. Then the last thing in your mind is exploitation. That's the last thing that comes in the mind. Otherwise, children are exploiting parents, you can say that. It's big time exploitation, 24/7. There's not even a break. But no parent ever feels like that. At least no normal parents. So we have to come to that stage. Krishna gives us that appreciation of the service we're getting. And then we feel so fortunate, so privileged that there's no question of exploitation. It does not matter whether he says thank you to you or not.
You feel affection, love and care, all of that simply by doing so.
Yes, in the right consciousness. Because you feel so grateful. When you're in gratitude, attitude of gratitude. When you have that attitude, you become humble naturally. You don't have to pretend to be humble, artificial, I'm very fallen. No need for that. You actually feel, look at me, I have no qualification and I've got this service. It's like being asked to become the Prime Minister of Australia. Me, Prime Minister? No way. I can't do that job. No, Krishna says, no, that's it. You are the man. You got to do it. Come on, congratulations. You got it. There are millions of applying for the role, and you got it. Think of that way. No? So every little bit we can do is very precious, very, very precious. And that's what stays with us till the very end. Svalpapyasya dharmasya prayate mato bhayavati. It's a wonderful feeling. Wonderful, wonderful. That's when the sambandha becomes more tangible. We don't just read about it in books or talk about it in lectures. We actually feel the relationship genuinely. Very wonderful. And that something is doable, is tangible. We can do it. Right? Everyone has, in ISKCON at least, we have opportunity to do some service. Everyone has some service. And according to your ability, if you do, and if you go beyond your ability, that's even more nectar. If you go beyond your comfort zone, that's nectar. But of course, one should not go to the extent where one actually, again, anything can be taken the wrong way. But that intense desire to serve spiritual masters, serve Krishna, serve the devotees, is so strong. If that is very strong, then we will make our endeavor naturally. Prabhupada, see, he went out of his way to spread Krishna consciousness, to give us the opportunity of Krishna consciousness. He went out of his way. What all he tolerated. One time one devotee asked Prabhupada, can you tell us some experiences that you had to tolerate in spreading Krishna consciousness? And Prabhupada said, it's better you don't ask me. If you hear about it, I don't know exactly what he said. You'll be bewildered, or you'll be like your mind. It'll blow your mind. Don't even ask about it. So don't ask that question. You don't want to know about it. This is what little we know. We know so much. Prabhupada took so much austerity. Imagine things that he didn't tell us. How could we hear those? We can't even hear those. It's not possible. Lord Chaitanya took sannyas. Why did he have to take sannyas? There's no need for him. His mother, Sachimata, she had 8 daughters before. First, she had 8 daughters. All 8 of them died after birth. Imagine giving birth to 8 children that died straight after birth. Then she had a 9th child, Vishwarupa. And he took sannyas. And then 10th was Prabhu, Vishwambar. He also took sannyas. Can you imagine her sacrifice? And Vishnupriya, 16-year-old girl, just married to Lord Chaitanya, he left her. All because as a householder, people won't listen to him. Oh, he's a family man, what does he know? No one took him seriously. When in Navadvip, they're ridiculing him. They're saying he's gone mad. Should beat him up. So this is the unfortunate position of the living entity. The Lord is obliged to come and take sannyas, causing so much pain to his family, to his mother especially, to his wife, so that he shows his love for us. Imagine he has shown his love for us so much that he says, I love you more than my own family. Isn't that reciprocation? How much more reciprocation do you want? How much more convincing do we need to convince the Lord loves us so much? It has placed us above everything else. What must have been Sachimata's position? And you know how Sachimata, he consoled her? He said, he asked for a permission. Of course, she wouldn't give. Even Vishnupriya didn't give permission. No, never. Never let you take sannyas. But to make us understand is Mamavamsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhut Sanatana, to convince us, to canvas, come, Lord Chaitanya, he put a special spell on Vishnupriya. He made her forget that she is wife. She kept saying no, by his mystic potency, by his Antaranga Shakti. She forgot that for a minute and she said, you do whatever you have to do. She didn't exact. He never said, I'll take sannyas. He just told Vishnupriya, do I have your permission? He didn't say for what. Will you give me your permission? That's all he said. And she said, no, never. Then he put a spell on her and then she said, you do whatever you have to do. Even though she knew she'll never see him again. Same with Sachi Mata also. She said, how do I live? I was hoping to live in Navadvip with you. That is your only hope of living is you. If you are going to go away, then what's going to happen to me? Then Lord Chaitanya told her, you want me to stay at home and you want to cook for me, right? You can still do that. Wherever Sachi Mata cooks, I will come. Wherever you cook, I will come and eat your offering every day. That's like living in home with you. Every day make an offering, I'll come and eat that. And this is not known to anyone, except a few very close, confidential devotees. That's why it is said where Lord Nityananda is dancing, the whole list. I don't remember exactly number. Where Sachi Mata is cooking, Lord Chaitanya is always there in these places. Where Lord Nityananda is dancing, where Sachi Mata is cooking, there's quite a few in that list. Try to find that. Very nice. Lord Chaitanya never leaves that place. He told Sachi Mata, every day you make an offering for me, I'll come and eat that. Every day I'll come and eat your offering. But now please let me go. I've got a big job to do. I've got to deliver people in Quakers Hill. Sydney. And Australia and whole world. I've got a big job to do. If I remain a Grihastha, no one's going to pay attention to me. They think that I become very sentimental and they're committing aparadha actually, offenses. Not understanding the mood of the Lord. So Krishna values this sambandha so much that he is prepared to do so much to get us back. You want to say something?
Just a follow-up. With regard to the point you made about surrendering or service to Guru and Krishna, since we were discussing surrender in this purport, there are 6 symptoms of surrender, and I was just wondering if those 6 symptoms of surrender apply to Krishna only or to the spiritual master as well. And the reason I ask that is because you can understand if that applies to Krishna, because let's say with the one point about Krishna being one's protector and maintainer, you can explain that by saying, there's that analogy that if Krishna can maintain elephants in Africa and give them tons of trees or leaves or whatever to eat, then why wouldn't he maintain you? But would that apply to Guru as well, since the Guru isn't Krishna, he isn't as powerful as Krishna, you'd assume, so does it apply to Guru as well?
Yeah, definitely. Why not? Because Guru is a representative of Lord Balaram. He is not acting independently on his own strength. If you see Guru as independent of Lord Balaram, then that's when it becomes difficult to understand. But if you see him as a representative of Lord Balaram, and to the extent that he is representing Lord Balaram, to that extent he can deliver us. That's why Prabhupada asked, are you perfect? He said, no, I'm not perfect, but I am following the orders of a spiritual master. That is my perfection. So without Guru, there's no question of talking about Krishna even. There's no point even talking about it. But Guru has a broader connotation. We should not think, Guru means when he comes here, that's when I should get busy, otherwise other times I'm not required. That should not be taken in the Vapu sense. We have to understand the mission of the spiritual master. See, Chaitanya Manobhishtam. What's his mission? What does he actually want? He wants me to be Krishna conscious. He wants me to help him in spreading Krishna consciousness. He wants me to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. He wants me to serve Srila Prabhupada's devotees to the best of my capacity and ability. And that is the mood of spiritual master. Not that when he comes I jump up and down and go, Jai Gurudev. After he goes, finished Jai television. Or something else, depending on what are my... No, that would be obviously an immature understanding of that. See, when you say Guru and Krishna, we understand the broader context. Guru is not just when he visits. Guru is all the time with us. His instructions are with us. And he wants us to, Prabhupada's final instruction he actually gave us, the most important instruction he gave us, you show your love for me by how you cooperate. The cooperation was so important for Prabhupada. He said, you cooperate, and that way you love me. And cooperating means accepting not of inconveniences. Not of inconveniences. It's not easy. But then you just do our best, Krishna will help us. Always will help us. Always, always. And He never lets us down. Never. And throughout life you see more and more Krishna is reciprocating with us, is giving us the reassurance, I'm there for you, there for you. And the more we are sensitive and open to that relationship, the more He reveals to us. He actually shows, look, I was here, I'm here, I helped you here, I helped you the other day. I'm with you for all of these things. And you become more and more transparent, more visible. So then it's not an academic subject you just discuss and then you forget about it. It's something you take it very deeply.
And if Krishna was helping you on all those different days, then Guru works as well.
Without Guru, Krishna doesn't act, we can't contact Krishna directly, always through mercy of spiritual master. So who do we thank for Krishna's helping us? We thank Krishna, of course, but more importantly we thank Guru. And if we get something credit, we offer it to Guru. We thank Guru for giving us a realization, the ability to see that Krishna is there helping me. How did you see otherwise in the first place? So everything is through Guru, it's never independent of Guru. You cannot go to Krishna directly. Not possible. In all the deity worship we do in the temple, everything, Guru is first invited. He's offered asana, he's offered seat. We offer it to him, then he offers it to Prabhupada. Prabhupada offers it to Krishna, Radha Gopinath. We never say, Radha Gopinath, here's some halwa for you. That's not how we offer.
So those 6 symptoms of surrender apply to both Guru and Krishna, yes, because Guru is empowered by Krishna.
Correct, yeah, that's right. Because we surrender to Krishna as representative. That's really surrender. Surrender to Krishna is surrender to his representative. He accepts our surrender on behalf of Krishna. And not only accepts our offering, but he rectifies it. Takes what is good in that and then offers it to, the essence of it, he offers it to Prabhupada. Prabhupada offers it to Krishna. To the parampara, of course. Because our offering is not pure, it's got so much contaminations in that. If it has to go to Krishna, it has to be pure. Ultimate authority is Radharani. She, the gatekeeper, should this go or not? She says, alright, this can go. And then goes to Krishna. It's all very amazing, transcendental process that we can't even imagine how it's happening. But they're all working together, Krishna and Balaram. Under their supervision it's all happening. And it's wonderful. So that is just, when it's revealed to us, you understand this is not ordinary. It's very special. And Prabhupada made it open to everyone. To serve with a sincere heart and they reciprocate. Shamuk, you want to say something?
It's still a continuation of Yamuna Mataji's book. I'm talking so much about that book because I'm finding a role model in her. A role model to emulate, to follow to whatever extent I can in my conditioned state. Initially she received many letters from Srila Prabhupada, so there was a lot of reciprocation. Always Prabhupada used to encourage. But later on, when Srila Prabhupada sent her husband and a few brahmacharis to India, she was the only woman there in Vrindavan, and Prabhupada was giving sannyas to so many devotees, and she being the only woman, it put so much pressure on her, because coming from the West and not having had any training as to how a Vaishnavi should behave, the etiquettes, she was very confused because she used to have easy access to Srila Prabhupada initially in the West. And then so many rules and regulations. You shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be speaking like that, and you shouldn't talk to that Prabhu because he's in a male body and all that. She started feeling, oh my God. But then she didn't give up. She just kept carrying on. And that time, many times Srila Prabhupada used to write to her husband. And she thought, oh, Prabhupada is withdrawing from me. But still she didn't give up. she carried on. And at one point, she became a bit, what can I say, what precise word to be used, I don't know. I'll just explain the situation. Srila Prabhupada had come to India, and she hadn't gone and met him at all. And the Vrindavan temple opening was going to be there, and there was a lot of pressure on her because she was doing so many things. She ordered the deities and everything. She was doing so many things, and there were devotees coming from all over the world for the temple inauguration. And Srila Prabhupada had asked her to take care of all the devotees also, apart from all that she was doing. And so she never went to see Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada sent her sent word, Yamuna Mataji, Srila Prabhupada wants to see you. Please tell him that I'm busy. She was a bit hurt by all that. And all this is written so openly. There is nothing, no hide and seek there. And so she didn't go. Again he sent word, she didn't go. Again she sent word. Then Prabhupada, he said very strongly, Yamuna, I want you to come here. And then she went, and she was hanging her head in shame, and when she paid obeisances, Srila Prabhupada told the pastime of Balaram, Lord Balaram, which we are having tomorrow, Balaram Jayanti. She said, do you know Balaram, when he got very angry with Yamuna, he pulled the Yamuna towards himself. So she was Yamuna. She said, oh, I'm so sorry, Srila Prabhupada, I'm so sorry. So like that also she carried on. And you know, that austerity really, it was too much. Time to time, she had to vacate wherever she was staying. She was put here, there. And then for deity worship, you have to take a bath and come. At 3 o'clock in the morning, she would go to take bath in a lake. It was a kind of lake. And she saw a dog there in the water with only its neck hanging out. The dog in the water. And then when she was going to go into the lake, that was the only place she could take bath. When she was entering it, the dog sort of scampered out. And then she sees the dog's body doesn't have any hair and it's full of sores. And just to cool himself, he was sitting in the water. And she had to take bath in that kind of water to go and do deity worship. And she somehow carried on. But the same lake, when Prabhupada's sister Pishima, she went and took bath in that lake to go and do deity worship, the sores on that dog's body started coming on her body. And all that she could do was just apply turmeric paste and carry on. So those were the level of austerities that she was doing. And later on, when Prabhupada was not writing much to her, she felt a bit bad, but she carried on. And later on, when Srila Prabhupada left this world, and because she had completely surrendered, she didn't have any money also. She and Deenatarini Mataji were sent here, there, everywhere. And at one point they went and stayed even in New Vrindavan. In New Vrindavan it was Kirtanananda Maharaj, and they were all strange. There were some deviations. And she was a very traditionalist, and she didn't like that, she didn't approve of it. So then she withdrew from all of that for a while. Not that she withdrew from Krishna consciousness. She was chanting, she was doing everything. She withdrew for a while, and then after that again she came back. So then it seems in the initial days she used to ask Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, how many times did you receive letters from your Guru Maharaj? How many times did you talk to him? Srila Prabhupada didn't elaborate on that, because we all know he didn't have much of association with his Guru Maharaj, but he always said, my Guru is with me. My Guru is with me. Every minute he is there with me. That is very elevated consciousness. That is Srila Prabhupada. We are not on that level. And recently when Navina Nirada Prabhu had come, he said how once he went to see his Gurudev. He had done book distribution in many continents and all that, and he hadn't seen him for a long time. He went there and he paid obeisances and was waiting. His Gurudev never even acknowledged that he was there. And first he felt, oh my God, what's wrong? Doesn't he know that I'm here? And he was trying to make his presence felt. But then slowly he just sat there, absorbing that whole situation. And slowly, he said, it dawned on me that now I'm in the inner circle. So I don't need to be acknowledged and said, shabash, you've done so well, and no applause needed and no reciprocation needed like that. I've joined the inner circle. And he said, I felt so honored, so privileged. I thought, oh my God, if I had been there, I would have just thought, oh my God, my Gurudev doesn't care for me. And that's it. Why should I carry on? Or, okay, after that, we'll feel a little bit dejected and still we will carry on. I mean, or who knows. But then, he was then I asked him this question, if we are sacrificing according to my capacity, a lot within quotes, and then I don't get reciprocation from devotees, what should I do? He said, your reciprocation is the instruction that you've had from your Guru Maharaj. I thought, oh my God, this is very esoteric. This is very esoteric and it's very far-fetched for me. At my level of advancement, it seems very far-fetched. But then, anything can happen with Guru Kripa. All that you have to do is have that tenacity to carry on. Under all circumstances, no Krishna, I know that you will reciprocate. Rakshishyati iti vishwaso. That vishwas should be so dhrida in the heart, then we can carry on. But then, when we do that, there is reciprocation. There is love and affection. There are loving exchanges. And when we are grateful, whatever is there, we feel so happy, seeing the cup half full. I'm talking very lofty words, but tomorrow if you see me acting against all that I have said, just completely opposite of all that I have said, please bear in mind, please forgive me and think, oh, she's a conditioned soul, she's just struggling and she's trying.
Thank you for being honest.
All that I can do is just, I don't want to disillusion anyone, I don't want to disappoint anyone, but then I'm also trying. I'm also like any other conditioned soul, just trying. The only thing is in trying, endeavor, that one finger, that endeavor. So if you see a smile on Gurudev's face, Krishna's face, that also don't know, are you smiling, Krishna? Oh, maybe you're grumpy with me, I don't know. Okay, just carry on, chant, do everything. Leave it to him. If he's happy, maybe he is happy. Thank you.
There's one incident on Srila Prabhupada's preaching, how it started.
Mataji's friend. Bhakti want to say something? Okay.
Yeah, go.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
She had hand up before that.
I didn't see it.
Get around to
Sorry.
it. You can know, it's all right. You didn't know.
I was just wondering, because this is just a practice. Is it a practice for us to think like we are servant and we don't need acknowledge, or that's what spiritual master is giving us, like, you need to practice how much you are passing, like year 1, year 2, or level 1, level 2. So is that the one, like, because at that stage, like, when you're perfect and ready to go back to Godhead, then you don't need anything of this. No. But this is just like a practice for us, that for like little bit acknowledge, because I'm like that, I need some attention or something, or I need something I have done.
All of us feel like that.
So
yeah, but
at least my problem, I made something, you just give me response. So this is like, you're tolerating, but how much you can tolerate, like Mataji said, how much you can tolerate.
So that's when we take, that's when we take one thing is practice, that's right. Another thing is we take help of each other, as devotees, we can help each other. That's why the devotee sangha is very important. The association of devotees is very important. Spiritual master may not directly reciprocate with you, but through the devotees he does. But that expectation to get that response back is a natural thing. It will come, but it comes in a much deeper way. If Guru Maharaj was to come here and say, oh, well done, that's nice reciprocation. But when it doesn't say that, and it comes deep within the service, in the service you get the reciprocation, that's much deeper and much lasting longer, and not depend on Guru Maharaj being here in front of you, or you being in front of Guru. And that can happen anytime, any day. So we need to become more tuned to that. I'm not saying again I'm perfect in that, but at least we can see some glimpse of that. We know that's there. We do feel the reciprocation on a number of occasions, and then we know that it is real. It's not. But that's the stage we want to get to. So that's why our sampradaya is very special, because this is union in separation. Vipulam Bhava, that only taught by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No other sampradaya has got this. Only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that. Service in separation, union in separation. That is far greater than union. So when Guru acknowledges directly to you, that's in union, that's nice. But when it is in separation, it's even more intense, even more deep. And that has no barriers. Even when Guru is not present in front of you, it will work anytime, anywhere, any day. And unlimited, not limited. Now you may talk to you for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours, but there's some limit. Right? But this internal reciprocation, there's no limit to it. Like even now devotees go to Vrindavan, they sit in Prabhupada's room, they feel Prabhupada's presence so strongly. They chant there and they feel that he's not left us, he's still with us. And that's not just a mental adjustment, it's actually the deep within you get the reciprocation. And on the other hand, one may be sitting next to Guru also and one may not get any reciprocation. Because we are so caught up in I want to be near the Guru, you know.
Always.
I was surrounding the Guru all the time, I am the important disciple. That is very neophyte mentality. We'll grow out of that.
When I was just initiated, I was busy with the kids, Bharat was very little. So I got a call from Mataji that I have to do some service because you are initiated, and Guru Maharaj was there. So I wanted to do, but it's so much difficult for me to leave. So I told my Prabhu, I want to go. And then because Ghanshyam Prabhu had told. So I went and asked Ghanshyam Prabhu, what service should I do? Because I have to do after initiation. I mean, it's it's a criteria, but I want, because of all the situation, the kids are there, So he gave me a very nice answer, which I really keep in my mind, every time. He said, you need to be very humble. You need to do anything what comes to you. And once you do that, and if Guru Maharaj notices you, he will give you a better one. So you don't think what better service you want to do, but think whatever is there in your hand, mopping, cleaning the toilet, anything comes to you, just do it. So it was really good answer he gave me, just try to be humble. So I just keep that in my mind. And it's a good instruction.
Yeah, good. So like that, Guru speaks through devotees. Yeah, I know, that's what I am.
Yes, all right.
Sorry, she had a hand before up I had.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
No, yeah, I think Michael. Yeah.
Okay. Then Nidhi will read for me, because if I take the microphone, it starts making a noise. There was just an incident from Srila Prabhupada, how his preaching started in Pakistan.
Wow.
Yes, so I'll just share that one.
In 1971, Prabhupada was having big programs in India. And one evening, an Arya Samajist challenged Prabhupada. He said, "Oh Swamiji, you've come to India with your Western cheerleaders, but we know all these things. This is our culture. Better you go to other places and do your work there." "Alright, you've been to the West, but what about Muslim countries? What about Pakistan? You should go to Pakistan and preach there, make them devotees." This was in a public bandal with thousands of people. Prabhupada said, "You're challenging us to go?" The man said, "Yes, I challenge you. You must go to Pakistan." Prabhupada said, "Alright, we'll go." Prabhupada wrote a letter to me. "Immediately go to West Pakistan." He also wrote to Gargamuni, "Immediately go to East Pakistan." We got these letters and we left the next day. I didn't have any money. Somebody paid for the bus from Florida to New York. Gargamuni had money, so he flew. I had to go overland to India, hitchhiking, buses, trains, whatever I could go. At that time, a war was starting. Prabhupada found out about the war and the hostilities between Pakistan and India afterwards, and then wrote a second letter saying, "I don't advise you to go at this time." But we never got that letter. We had already left. We walked right into a war situation. It was difficult, but we were preaching and trying to do something. I was in Karachi. North of Karachi is the Singh Desert, the hottest place in the world, averaging 125 degrees. It was May, the hottest month, and I was sick with dysentery. I had no books. People were spitting on me on the street, threatening to put a knife in my back. When we had kirtan, people would rub off my tilak and spit. What a situation! Then a report appeared in Pakistan and Indian newspapers saying 4 Hare Krishna missionaries shot in Bombay. In Bombay, Gadadhar showed Prabhupada the newspaper report. It didn't give any names.
Who is reporting this?
I'm not sure.
So Premananda Das, I think Prabhupada's disciple.
Okay.
Garga Muni was with Pushta in the east, and I was in Jaganivas in the west. There were 4 of us. Prabhupada was very disturbed. He thought that we'd been shot. I sent a telegram to Prabhupada saying, can I get out of here? Prabhupada sent a telegram back, please come immediately, Bhaktivedanta Swami. 4 words. These were the best 4 words. To get out of a country was a big thing. Somehow we were able to get out. I came back to Bombay and went to the Akash Ganga building where Prabhupada was staying. When I walked into his room, Prabhupada immediately got up, came over, put his arms around me and hugged me to his chest. He was putting his hands all over me just like a mother would touch a child if she thinks he's been hurt. The mother wants to see if the child is still intact.
That's a love, the kind of love
Very
Guru
nice.
shows.
Very nice. Thank you.
So he touched me, you know.
Thanks for sharing. It's very beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I put it on Facebook on my timeline. If you can go.
Very nice. Yeah, beautiful. So according to the need, the spiritual master also reciprocates. When the need is there. All because we are Mama Yamsha Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Anyway, I've gone over time. I just want to finish with one point that not only we are part and parcel of Krishna, even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they are also part and parcel of Krishna. They are Ekamatra Ishvara Krishna, Arasava Bhritya. Everyone else is a servant. Even Balaram is serving Krishna. Even though he is Krishna, Balaram is white Krishna, Prabhupada said. It's exactly like Krishna, but even he is serving Krishna. And Krishna also serves Balaram. But Ekamatra Ishvara Krishna Arasava Bhritya. So part and parcel, there is no question of becoming equal to God or becoming God. Yeah, there's quite a few more points actually in this verse. We'll try and do it next time, but I hope that discussion is useful and that Krishna doesn't exploit us. That Mama Amsha Jiva Loke, that being his part and parcel doesn't mean we get exploited. It's not a mundane master and master-servant relationship. Rather, this is an exchange of the highest love, the deepest love. Another last comment.
Just on that point, the passage that was read, one amongst all the other things. Hare Krishna Prabhu. On that passage that was read, amongst all the other things, one important thing which struck me was even in spite of the devotees being in the midst of the war, they made it a point to send a telegram to Prabhupada, and they never took an independent decision to return back. They were waiting for Prabhupada to send back the telegram, and then only they took a decision to come back. So that just shows that they wouldn't do anything without the Guru's word.
Yeah, that's true. Very nice.
Unflinching sort of a devotional attitude.
One of the implicit faith in the instructions of Guru and Krishna, all the Vedic knowledge is revealed to them. All the imports of Vedic knowledge are revealed. Very true. Good point. Thank you.
And because of that, because of his full surrender, Srila Prabhupada had told him, Srila Prabhupada had told Brahmananda Prabhu, because you got me, you didn't take me to the hospital to be pricked by those doctors. So when he passed away, the ambulance was ready and he didn't even make it till there. He just passed away there.
In Vrindavan.
In Vrindavan. See, because of his full surrender. Go to Pakistan? Yes, go to Pakistan. Until Prabhupada called him back, he didn't come back. See? And because of that, what reciprocation? He didn't go through any pins and needles in any hospital. Prabhupada said, you saved me, I grant you that. My God, how beautiful, no? So we should have full faith. My God, our faith is quite, at least, I can talk for myself, sometimes very weak. Yeah, so if we have full faith, we can move mountains by Krishna's mercy.
Thank you very much.
Listening to Ayendra Prabhu's interview, so he said Srila Prabhupada never spoke to him. But once Srila Prabhupada was going and he was only doing the kirtan alongside, and he was playing the mridanga also, he didn't know how to play the mridanga, he was only singing. He started playing the mridanga and he was singing. Srila Prabhupada, after half an hour or so, he turned back and said, Jai Ho, keep doing this. That's all he said to him throughout his life. He never spoke to him at all. And since that day onwards, he always did 24-hour Kirtan. He was the only one who started 24-hour Kirtan in Vrindavan.
Yeah, very nice.
Today there's on Facebook again, someone asked Radhanath Maharaj the same question. I don't get a lot of association. And Maharaj said, I am one of those devotees to whom Srila Prabhupada has spoken only twice. But you don't need physical association of your Gurudev to carry on his instructions. His instructions have been with me through his books and through his lectures, and that is all. So I don't have to be with you all the time to think that, to motivate you or to encourage you. My instructions should be enough. And he said there are a group of devotees. Group of devotees, Prabhupada disciples who have just had a moment's association with him, but that's been enough to keep them surrender their life to Srila Prabhupada. And I think Devamrita Maharaj is one of them.
Niranjan Maharaj, he never even physically saw him. He just got initiated by letter. So he never even met Prabhupada.
But see, Prabhupada wrote nearly 7,000 letters in that period. In 10 years, he wrote nearly 7,000 letters. Because all communication was through letters. So you can imagine. Yeah.
What an honor to receive something in writing from him, such a personal touch.
Yeah, they got personal instructions in the letters.
It's a treasure.
And we have access to those letters.
That's right. Now we can see all the 7,000 letters. They're all there.
One place.
They're all there. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, I think we should finish there. Gopinath ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.
His Grace Vijay Gopi Prabhu ki